So one important thing you need to do when running the printer single mass flywheel, you have to take some of this length of this support bearing holder piece here, because this is now 11.6 about, and on the flywheel this depth here is 10.6. So you need to shave off about 1 millimeter or more on this surface, because if you don't do that, the flywheel lays on this surface and the bolts won't make a good contact here and the bolts will break. So now the engine is in, not bolted in but lifted in place. The gearbox is standing on a car stand right there, but bolted some om603 engine mounts from a 124 chassis. There is the code if you want it, and I'm using the Scania engine mounts, which I have used in many projects, and I can film the other one also if you want the code. And there you see the original hole right there. So it's maybe possible to just bolt it in those holes, but then the engine would be about 3 or 4 centimeters more forward from this position, and I have a little tight space here, or not so tight actually, but I want a lot of space here when it's possible to make it so. Nothing is really hitting here in the rear of the engine. It's the oil pan which is hitting in the front support right there. It's possible to take some material off that also, but I'm not going to do that. I will make some spacer pieces here now, which are moving the mounting hole further back, so I can get it in this position. I have now a maybe 12 or 15 millimeter shim in there between the engine mount and the bushing. So I think I will use a 10 millimeter steel plate to make those mounts from, so I can get it a couple of more millimeters down and in this position. There is actually pretty good amount of room everywhere in the engine bay on these. So there should not be any problem making a downpipe and screen pipe. Yeah, and I actually plugged this internal wastegate already. I welded, I don't know if you can see it, in there. Oh. In there is a bigger hole, which I made a plug and welded shut. And also the hole where the wastegate shaft came out somewhere here, also plugged and welded. So it's now just a weird looking hot side. I got a used external wastegate, 38 millimeter, which I have used in other project also. This has not been much used, just the screen pipe flange here has been welded a pipe on, so I think I have to weld a pipe on this one also. But I got these flanges with the Thekangaroos manifold, which I got sponsored, both the manifold and the flanges, and that was really thankful for me. Saved a good amount of money there with this build. The other flange is now mounted to the manifold. It is, I just made a flange, if you can see it here. This one I made on just a piece of straight pipe here and welded to the flange. So this is also removable, but the wastegate itself is with a V-band clamp. So I will now make those adapters for the engine mounts and start figuring out some gearbox mount. And I can show you also the shifter which I'm going to use. I have made this shifter thing. There's a spring inside of there, and then this is like a reverse stopper. I have made one of these before in my previous winter beater I had. And the gearbox, the CDI gearbox, does not have same type of shifter like the ZF gearbox. Those have like a different clunk when you put in the reverse gear. But I have not seen how these gearboxes have from stock, but I think it's some kind of cable or something which pulls a stopper on the shifting linkage, so you can't put in reverse without lifting some kind of stuff on the original shifter. But I'm making this type now. I can film it and show it when I have made it done. It's easier to show it then, but it's like a stopper, so you can't accidentally put in reverse when shifting. I feel like I have to start wrapping up this episode so I can make some content for you. I have now painted this radiator support I made. Also have bolted in some parts here. Power steering pump, tensioner and pulley, new water pump and alternator I found. I don't know if this one works. I got it with some spare parts car, but we'll try with that one now. Yeah, the engine mounts are now in. I actually had to drill this side plate. I first made them with 40mm CC between the holes, but I drilled that with only 30mm, and that side is 40mm between the holes. So now the engine is in the middle of the frame rails in a better position in the tunnel or so. Like you saw, I made a pretty simple gearbox mount, which was kind of an adapter between the original bushing and this gearbox. And I also made the first half of the shifter pretty similar as the ZF1. Might show it later if I remember to film it, but power steering I just connected. This, I think this pump was from a 210 chassis sedan, and I used the original hose from that one, this pressure hose, which with a banjo bolt right there. So hopefully that works. Yesterday I picked up some hydraulic parts from CJ Service in Jakobstad. They have all the parts I have needed in stock. So I'm running these hydraulic hoses now for the oil cooler. This is the AN10 fitting, like a hydraulic one. And then just this regular black hydraulic hose. And then this steel braided turbo oil feed. This fits to the block and this fits to the whole set adapter. And I didn't tell you, but the radiator I'm using now is the same as in all my other projects. It's from a 124 original turbo diesel. So that is the biggest one you can fit between the frame rails, both on these and the 124 and the 190. It's about 70 centimeters from end to end. And I was pretty surprised because these original mounts fit straight to the 124 mounts here, these. So it was a pretty simple fit to get that one in. And it just lays here in the bigger holes with some original rubber bushings, and the intercooler is bolted straight to this lower support. And I also made this on the top of the intercooler, and those ones which comes between the oil cooler fits to this, and then those come up from the oil cooler to the lock support right there. I made some braces here also to strengthen everything up. Also have built the fuel system same way as the other 124s. Opened the filter in the fuel tank, cleaned it up and just made new pipes. Copper pipes on this one, 8mm outside diameter. And it's like free flow from the tank to the filter and then to the Biltema 044 pump. And then it goes to the engine bay. And I have still not connected it here. Have to make the same filter housing as in the other ones. I'm using the original filter housing and same mods as the other build. I can show it later when I have it fitted inside. I actually contacted Dieselmeken in the beginning of this week, so the pump should be ready now, and I think it's shipped my way, so hopefully that one arrives soon. And the rear axle should be painted right now. Just have to pick it up someday, and then just bolt in all the front end suspension parts and start making some radiator hoses. I think it should be pretty easy on this one. I will use the original upper hose here from the 210 model, and here is a pretty nice fit just up there. But then here I think I have to make, because this steel pipe has to be connected here. So I think I will make because it makes just a loop here to come out here. So I think I will cut it here behind and make a straight pipe to here and then just pull it up here. I need to find some kind of expansion tank also. I will try to make the 210 turbo diesel expansion tank. I think I have one of those in spare, so I can try to fit. So as it looks now, it might be done in a couple of months at least, if I don't run into any bigger problems, but I seem to have all the parts I need. Just need to get some pieces to make the exhaust from, but that is no biggie. The interior will be pretty stock, but I will use some front seats from a 211 model. Those ones I have cleaned them up. Those are with electronic adjustment, so I will see if I'm possible to use that in this one also, but I think they will fit pretty nicely on the mounts in the floor. I have not tried them yet, but what I measured, they should fit pretty straight there. Just have to make some small modifications. But if you want some earlier updates, you can follow me on Instagram and check out my stories there. I post almost every day, or at least every day I'm here in the garage. So
Thanks for watching, and if you want some more details about anything, just ask in the comments and I will try to film it a little bit better for you. If you like to know something, not pretty much anything new on this project compared to the 124s, but hope you like it. See you next time. Bye.